Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We will got some big updates on the next emails package. Here updates for senior and especially updates on which states are sending stimulus check in December. So stick around to see if you are in any of these states that are sending stimulus checks. And let's do a quick update on daily trending news. Now, President Biden was chat on the Tonight Show last night, and Jimmy Fallon asked him about his approval ratings at this point. Most of you know that his approval ratings are tanking, along with the Democratic Party in general, and this isn't only bad for the country, because obviously if the approval ratings are bad, that means he's not doing such a great job. It also bad for Democrat Party because there are a lot of seats up for re-election next year in both the House and the Senate. And Democrats are worried they're going to lose those seats. But let's quick look and see what President Biden said. President Trump Biden have few things to say to Trump inflation regarding his low approval ratings. On Friday evening, President Biden appeared virtually on the Tonight Show. So you see, he wasn't really there. This is actually just a screen. He was on kind of like the Zoom call, and when Trump Fallon asked Biden if he pays attention to his lower approval ratings, the commander-in-chief replied, "Well, not anymore," in the demand manner, before saying he was tracking. Biden said that he pays attention when ratings are only high in the mid-60 seconds, but when it lowers in the mid-40 seconds, he doesn't pay attention anymore. And then, in the more serious response, Biden said, "Well, look here in the deal fork. We've been at it less than a year. A lot of has happened. Look, people are afraid, people are worried, and people are getting much inaccurate information about their lives. Being told their agreement runs away." Biden said the truth is economies grow more than it has been any time at last 60 years. The unemployment rate is down to 4.2% and it's going lower in my view. He did address the fact inflation is hurting American people, especially seniors around fixed income. So all jokes aside, President Biden was trying to kind of laugh things off. But this is a serious issue, folks. Inflation. It's made everything so much more expensive. And when we have seniors on fixed incomes, seniors don't really have a good way of making extra money. I mean, people who are young, they can work extra work jobs, and they can work overtime. They can switch job and try and get rise. But when you were Social Security benefits, you're pretty much stuck at what you are getting every single month, and you are getting the same payment every month, except for local increases, which of course are never enough. And let's be honest, right? So with inflation being so bad, this is one reason why I keep saying, and people like Bernie Sanders keep saying, we need the stimulus check for seniors, right? Because things are getting more expensive, and the seniors don't really have many options as far as making more money. Now, as far as stimulus check at the state level, and there are 5 or 6 states sending stimulus check. Of course, California is the most notable one. Remember, California has done actually 5 stimulus checks at this point, and the 3 national stimulus checks, and then they have two Golden State stimulus checks, and they are saying that about 800,000 people in California will receive that 5th stimulus check by December 17th. So this is going to be nice, a little Christmas gift for people in California. But specifically for the standard in California, let's talk about that, and then we'll jump into all other states who are sending stimulus check this month. Now, the senior on the Social Security in California, we have been getting a lot of questions here, like they're Golden State stimulus check, but the standard don't qualify. Well, the answer is some of them do, some of them don't. Unfortunately, it's really ridiculous. One of the worst things, in my opinion, that Governor Newsom did is a lot of seniors were excluded from the Golden State stimulus, and this is honestly completely insane. But let's take a look and see who qualified in California and who doesn't. Then we talk about other states. This article is titled Senior Stimulus with the Social Security. Recipients will still receive the Golden State payments now, and there's still some confusion as to whether Social Security recipient will be receiving the Golden State stimulus, second stimulus payment. It all depends on the state guideline, and only certain Social Security beneficiaries will receive California's stimulus check. Now, technically, Californians who receive Social Security benefits are eligible for the second Golden State stimulus checks, and these payments are going to be up to $1,100, and that's $600 for adults and $500 for qualifying dependents. Now, to qualify for this, you have to meet the certain requirements, and they show that counting your other sources of income, no Social Security benefits, you have to have adjusted a gross income between $1 and up to $75,000 on your 2020 tax return. So what this means is, if you worked a part-time job at all, or if you live in California, you get a Social Security benefits, but you worked once a month for a couple hours, you're going to get this stimulus check in California, even if you are Social Security. Now, unfortunately, if you are Social Security in California, they are sending these states to hold the checks. But you don't make any other income, you didn't make a dollar from working part-time or anything like that. Unfortunately, you are not going to get this Golden State stimulus. It is completely ridiculous because seniors who only have fixed income need this more than anybody else. So I don't know if this was like accident from Governor Newsom, or if this was like purposeful thing he did to exclude seniors who wasn't working. I mean, if you are not working now, you were 65 or 70 years old, but you are work for 15 years and pay taxes. I mean, I think you deserve this stimulus check more than anybody. But sorry for bad news, folks. But unless you make at least a dollar income 2020 and make the dollar in income in 2020, not accounting Social Security, unfortunately, you are not gonna get this state level stimulus checks in California. So sorry for the bad news. But let's talk about which states are sending stimulus check in December and exactly who qualify. This article is titled Stimulus Check Say what states are sending stimulus in December. Now, millions of Americans are expected to receive the stimulus payment around the Christmas, by the way, of their local state governments. And some states issue their own stimulus checks, and others are even providing universal basic income payments, which are basically monthly stimulus payments. Let's take a look and see if your state is sending stimulus payment this month. Now, California, we just spoke about, so let's talk about the next one, which is Florida. Florida is planning to issue stimulus check in December. To first responders, we're going through the 12th grade teachers and those who meet a financial requirements to receive the one-time payments of $1,000 Visa stimulus check. Governor Ron DeSantis states that 175,000 teachers and 3,600 principals will be eligible for the check. The state stimulus program for teachers is attempt and retaining school staff after particularly high year for education sector workers. Now, that's great for Florida. Unfortunately, it's only includes teachers and principals. But honestly, do principals really need the student check? They usually make a six figures, right? But that's what you're doing in Florida. And now, man has been sending out student payment visa. The state government since November 15th, the checks in amount of $285 has been distributed to over 500,000 people thus far. So if you live in Maine, this is more student check, but it's $285. Check with your local government's website to see if you qualify for the state level stimulus check in Maine. Now, Maryland is sending the stimulus checks to low-income families and low-income individuals. Qualifying families will receive $500 and individuals will receive $300. Now, as far as states sending stimulus checks in December, that's basically it. But we do have a couple of cities sending stimulus checks at the city level. So let's take a quick look. Chicago, low-income families and individuals in Chicago have been receiving universal basic income payments. If they make less than $35,000 per year, payments have been in form of $500 student check per month. Participants of program are chosen at random, so let me know guys if you know anyone on this program. Personally, I live in Chicago and I actually haven't seen and heard of anyone getting these monthly student checks. But obviously this is a small program and quite honestly, I think these city level programs could get their own video. So I might be making a deeper video on this and for the rest of the city student checks as well. But the next one is Washington DC. They've been sending 500 payments to 100 low-income fathers since September in what is Universal Income Pilot Program. Now it looks like New Orleans, Pittsburgh, and Santa Ana are all doing student checks at the city level as well. New Orleans is sending $350 in monthly payments to some children who qualify. Big Bird is doing small program where we're sending 200 household, 500 a monthly for 2 years. And it looks like a city in California. Santa Ana is going to get additional 300 stimulus payments loaded on the debt card depending if you qualify based off of your income. So I know these programs at the city level, they are a big niche and it's more of like you either have to qualify or you have to be accepted into this pilot program. But it's good to see that there is more cities and more states every week doing more student checks and more universal basic income programs, because that gives us hope and that hey, there could be more states doing it next week. And now when it comes to stimulus check at the national level, a lot of people are saying that the reason President Biden is doing so poorly in the poor is because they still have not approved for the full road of the stimulus checks, and especially because they haven't done increase for social security benefits or specific stimulus check for senior. Let me know in the comments box, do you think that one of the main reasons why his poor are so low, or do you think it's things like inflation and the way he's been handling in the pandemic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In any case, it's really interesting to see what Democrats are going to do, because a lot of experts are saying like To Democrats, if you want to win those election next year, 2022, they're going to have 6 in the House and in the Senate for re-election. And a lot of political experts are saying that one of the best things they can do to try and win those elections and maintain control of Congress is to do another round of the stimulus checks, and even if they just did one for seniors, there is a good chance they would win those elections because seniors have the highest voting rate of any age group in this country. So with that saying, this clip from Fox News, and there's really good job of talking about why Democrats are doing so poorly in the polls and why the American people are so frustrated. Now, full disclosure here, this is the Fox News, so obviously they're going to be really harsh on Democrats, but on this channel, I like to show you both sides. I show you CNN, I show you Fox News, and I will show you everything in between. So this is not me taking sides. I'm not going to take sides with Fox News, but I'm not taking sides against them, just showing you the both sides so you can come to your own conclusion. Let's go to Democrats at the table. Tracy Lucky. What can Democrats personally to do avoid the forget wave at the red tsunami that is coming 2022? Because remember President Obama even passing Obamacare with 63-6 in 2010. Donald Trump lost 43 in 2018 despite the task force. So you got to figure here, you're looking at the 60, maybe the 76 gone. It's not just losing the House, but Republicans having the strong majority, and then the Senate 1/6 has to flip. And then you get the cooking meat back as your majority, she said. Cooking meat feels like he never went away from me. History is a very good predictor of what's to happen, and that's why it's been so important that Democrats get through these big pieces of legislation. You know, we have Build Back Better if it gets through the Senate, American Rescue Plan, and then the bipartisan infrastructure plan, which is win for both sides there. But Democrats are definitely nervous about this, you know. 3 key categories are focus independence. If you look at the result out of New Jersey and Virginia, that's a big problem looking at where the Hispanic vote is going. That's a trending much more conservative, whereas Asian vote is actually pretty more democratic. I am hopeful that people can just message on the policies and also show empathy. And the cancer that Joe Biden won on in 2020 because yet COVID was obviously a huge part of that, Congress said. Well, the problem is Democrats didn't reform the way that we get approval of these protests, so we won't happen for 10 years, so people want to see the result of them, right? Democrats have nothing to run on, and when you look at the Trump Biden focusing on which is weather, and he also focusing on race, though don't even hit the list of things that people care about, and so if you want to get elected, actually listen to people. What do you care about? What do I need to fix? And the policy are going to make inflation much worse, which is going to make election result in the year from now. That's more harder for Democrats. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today.